Most of us carry some level of debt, and with the holiday season fast approaching, it's safe to say we might incur more of it in the coming weeks. Today, in the third installment of our series on preparing for your future, our chief financial commentator, Pattie Lovett-Reid, tells us how to manage debt before it gets out of control.
I'm standing in the Toronto Eaton Centre, but soon malls like this right across the country will have Canadians flocking to them to do some holiday shopping and maybe racking up some debt. But before you do, here's a statistic from Environics. 46% of Canadians were unable to make a debt payment in the last 12 months, and 42% of Canadians said they carried some sort of debt. So before you hit the mall shopping, we have a few tips to help you take control of your debt situation. When we talk about debt, there's good debt and of course there's bad debt, but let's not forget, debt is debt. Now, when I'm talking about good debt, I'm talking about taking out a mortgage for a home. Your home appreciates over time. That improves the balance sheet. Or what about taking on debt to get a better education so you get a better paying job? However, you need to know the difference between a want and a need. Going out and spending simply for the sake of spending and racking up debt simply doesn't cut it anymore. When it comes to tackling debt, there's something I call the 3 Ds. Let's start with the first D, and that is knowing your data. You need to know what it is you're spending your money on. You can't make changes or take corrective action if you don't list down every single cent you spend on a daily basis. Once you've done that, then you can say, maybe I can cut this out. What I see happening a lot are people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you know what? The Joneses are broke. You don't have to be. Once you take control of your financial situation, you do so by understanding your data points, not theirs. Once you know the data, it's time then to make some decisions. Where are you going to cut back? Those fancy coffees, on entertainment, maybe taking your lunch to work. All the money you save there goes towards the outstanding debt that you have. And here's a tip, you might want to pay the most expensive debt first. That's not the biggest, it's the one that's costing you the most. So far, we've talked about 2 of the 3 Ds. The first is understanding our own data. We also understand that we had to make some tough decisions, but truly the toughest of them all is the discipline to stick with the plan that you put in place. It is so easy to get into debt. We can get into debt just like this, but it takes a really, really long time to get out of debt. And that's why the discipline is so hard to do for so many. So here are a couple of tools that you might want to use. One would be a cash flow statement, understanding where all your money is coming from and exactly what it is you're spending your money on, and then move to a net worth statement. Once a year in our household, we list down everything that we own and everything that we owe. And when you pay down debt, that allows you to improve your balance sheet year after year. So to sum it all up, you've got the 3 Ds, data, decision, and discipline. And quite frankly, at the end of it all, it gives you an A, not a D. By the way, I'm not suggesting that you don't spend this holiday season and enjoy it. What I am suggesting, though, is that you don't take on additional debt. That might mean you have to get a little creative with your gift-giving ideas, and you don't have to do it alone. You might want to sit down with your advisor or planner to develop your own plan, because the very last thing you want to have happen is the financial version of a holiday hangover come January.
Some great tips there. We have a link to a number of online tools that can help with your finances. Just head to our website, canadaam.ctvnews.ca.